Welcome back, everyone. On today's episode of Throwback Thursday, I want to share with you a bloom color combination that I really loved, and I haven't done it again just because I haven't remembered to, but I would like to. So, this is a custom color mix. I used Chantilly lace and interference gold and red from Colourarte. Oh, with pixie dust. Pixie dust is like a really frosty, light yellow color. Like it barely has any color in it. So anyway, I just made it a little frostier. So I kind of put that down at the bottom because my hope is that it would shimmer through. So this color is fluorescent magenta from Golden. Beautiful color. Everyone loves a fluorescent magenta, right? And next up is Rose Madder, or Madder, I guess, from Matisse Flow. Very expensive color, but a very beautiful color. It's got some nice transparency, so it shows nicely the color kind of through it. And then next up is, I guess I'm putting more of that on there. All right, this is Diox Purple from Atelier. And last color is Phthalo Turquoise also from Atelier, actually. I usually use Golden at the time I did this, but sorry if you can hear my dog. She's over here sniffing and stuff. And the cell activator is going to be Amsterdam Titanium White mixed with Aussie Floetrol. Don't forget to check the description box. There's all kinds of discounts in there for Colourarte and Pixel Paint Designs, where I get my Aussie Floetrol. There's a discount code if you want to take Shelly's class. So lots of stuff. Resin. So don't forget to check it out. Now, at the time I did this, I was still pretty remedial with my blowing. So if I remember correctly, I probably used the little world's smallest dryer. I was trying to figure out how to use it on larger surfaces. I think this is an 8-inch tile. So the only way I could figure out how to do that without it looking super weird was to kind of wiggle in the center to broaden kind of the width of the blow. Otherwise, you get super narrow stuff. And so here I'm just catching where there's opportunity to, excuse me, catch the additional cell activator or to kind of deal with those weird fingerling petals. So if you're still learning how to blow out your blooms, which is not easy to do, and you are using that little blower, wiggling it just a little bit when you're coming out from the center does kind of help a little bit. Obviously not perfectly because we still have a lot of fingerling stuff. What you see me messing with here is a turkey baster. I just took the top off and I used it to blow through. I don't really do that much anymore, but for a while I did, and it kind of helped control the blow a little bit. So once we spun it out, we don't have those weird fingerlings, but anything bigger than an 8-inch, it's kind of hard to use that little blower without getting like a little attachment or something to broaden it out. Now I know Tracy sells the attachment for it, and a lot of people really enjoy using that, so that's an option too. But I love those tiny little cells on the top. So let me show you. Here's kind of a close-up. You can see how soft that Chantilly lace pixie dust combo is. It's sort of like an interference gold almost, with just a tinge of yellow shining through it. Looks really beautiful under resin. And then I'm going to speed this up and we're going to do the same colors on a set of coasters. All right, so these are some hexagon coasters from Home Depot. They are all right. They they're sturdy, but they're not perfectly flat, and it's hard to describe until you actually see them. They're just not perfectly flat. So sometimes what you do on these coasters can get a little wonky just because of that. I do have some from Floor and Decor that are really nice and they are really flat. So I'm waiting till I use these up to use those up. But these are still nice. At the time I was looking for hexagon coasters, couldn't find them anywhere. I had them delivered from Home Depot. I'm definitely going to use them because they weren't cheap. But if I were to just go out and buy them, I would probably take into account that they're not as perfectly flat as some of the other ones. But they're still nice. I like them. So on a coaster, this combo looks really good because, you've obviously got the vibrancy of the color. And we know aqua or turquoise always looks good with pink, magenta. So just really beautiful combo. I love the way these turned out. So here's the second one. We've got our Pixie Dust Chantilly Lace Interference Gold and Red mix. We've got Fluro Magenta. I just love that color. It's just such a nice shade of pink. And Rose Madder. And I forgot. I feel like I must have used a third color, but I didn't write it down, so. Now, the world's smallest blower works really nicely on coasters. Now that I've gotten a little bit more comfortable blowing blooms out, I think I kind of prefer to blow them out myself. But I will say it's got the kind of right amount of pressure where you can kind of get through your colors. I messed that one up right there. When you blow them out yourself, if you don't blow, hard enough or you're not blowing too hard, it's kind of difficult to get through to all of the colors in the puddle. Excuse me. But you get used to it. But I thought these turned out so cute. And this color combo, I don't know what made me try it. I don't know if I was inspired by somebody else when I tried it. Who knows? I do tend to see combos from other people, especially at this stage when I was pouring, because this was a couple years ago, and say, oh, I'm going to try that. I used to take color combos from Lisa all the time. She would share them and I would be like, thank you, I'm going to try that. And because, sometimes now when I go and I grab colors to do a bloom, I don't go in with any intention. I'm just like, what do I need to use? But before I had way too much paint to use up. There was obviously times where I went in and I actually had a plan, went with a purpose. But I would draw inspiration from various artists that I saw what they were using and be like, oh, I love the way that looks. Shelly's another one. That's one of the benefits of taking the course is you get to learn from other people and lives and all of that stuff, and things that you can try that you hadn't really thought about, So I messed that up. I notoriously tend to overwork things, but it'll pan out. And I love how the Diox purple sort of just fades into the background, like it enhances the color, but it doesn't take over because Diox can take over even though it's a transparent color. So I like that in this particular combo, it doesn't. All right. So this, typically most people would tell you like starting with a pigment at the bottom may not be the best thing to do. And generally speaking, that can be true because pigments are not opaque. They're very transparent. So you won't see a lot of the color fastness spread out over that white paint if you start at the bottom. However, you do get a nice effect of it kind of peeking through all of your colors. So if you're going to start with something that's very frosty or an interference color or something like this, it's very light. It's nice because when you're using transparent paints, which all of these paints are transparent or semi-transparent, that shimmer peeks through the color. So I like to, some of you may know this, but I like to take like the interference colors that Colourarte has and take the very fine ones and mix them with like the sparkle, which is kind of a medium particulate, because then you kind of get the coverage of a fine interference powder and the sparkle of the larger particulate together. So those are particularly nice to put in a layer where it's going to peek through your color, because it's almost like adding multiple sparkly colors. So here's the whole set, just so you can kind of see them. I think they were just drying. Don't mind my piece of mail that I have in the background there. But yeah, you have to let me know what you think of this one. Thanks for joining me on another Throwback Thursday. Let me know that you're here, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and may even try the color combo. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all your continued support. I will talk to you soon. Bye.